Hello, 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 world. It's me, Tamaria. If you don't know me, I am homeless currently at this time with 3 kids. Um, I explained in my other videos how I got in a situation, but I'm gonna speak a little more in depth. Um, so I was in a toxic situation, in a toxic relationship. I was living out in Miami, Florida, and I moved out there in 2020. I do have family in Florida, but I don't know any of them, so I really didn't have any type of support. So, me not having any support, my only support system was the relationship that I was in. And when I say it was toxic, it was toxic. There was like a lot of fighting, arguing, yelling, busting windows out, and all types of stuff going on in that situation that I couldn't allow myself to stay there, or I couldn't allow my kids to stay there and be in that situation. It was hard for me to work because I have 3 different kids and they're all different ages and it was all different pickup times. And Florida isn't a Commonwealth state like the state that I'm coming from, that I was born and raised in. So there wasn't really too much help out there. Like even with food stamps, they gave you good food stamps, but like far as like cash assistance or anything like that. For me and my 4 kids, I was getting like $100 in cash assistance. Unfortunately, and that's $100 one time a month. And realistically, who can live off of $100 a month? Not saying that I was not grateful. I was very grateful, but it just wasn't cutting it for me. And it was like every job that I got, in order to make ends meet, like aftercare, like after school care and stuff like that, I had to come out of pocket. So me coming out of pocket for aftercare for 2 kids was basically taking all of my check. And we know that Florida, if you don't really have any type of degree or anything like that, there is no like real good paying jobs. Like you're gonna be working for $12 an hour, $13 an hour, $14 an hour. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but that's just something that I couldn't get by on, raising me, my 3 kids, myself, and then paying bills and all of that. That just wasn't ideal. So it was either me stay in the relationship that I was in, take verbal and physical abuse, be cheated on, and just all different types of stuff, or me pack my stuff and go and just leave everything behind. And that's exactly what I did. Because before I settle and keep myself in a situation that I really don't need to be in, I will pack my stuff and I will grab my kids and I will go about my business. And that's what I did. And when I say I left everything behind, I left everything behind besides my car. Like, I took what clothes I can take from my kids and then everything else just left behind. A fresh start all over again. And that's why, I'm homeless right now. This is temporary because it's not gonna last forever. I am not here. Somebody called me a scammer or something like that. I'm not here to scam anybody. I'm not asking anybody for money or anything. I just want you guys to follow me on my journey and see my success. Like, I don't mind talking about, I'm a very, very open person. Like, I'm an open book. Sometimes I tell way more than what's needed to be told. Some people say to me, oh, you need to stop telling, even when it comes to good stuff, oh, stop telling people stuff because that's how you're going to block your blessing. And, and I just feel like whatever is meant for me and whatever is made for me and whatever God has for me, nobody can stop it. I mean, your delay, you can delay it, but your delay is nothing to me because I know at the end of the day, there's going to be a bigger blessing than you can even imagine. And by you trying to speak on me and you trying to delay my blessings or speak ill on me, you may be the person that actually needs me when God blesses me. And when God blesses me, I'm still going to be the person to eat you with kindness and give a blessing to you. You understand? I'm not here to scam anybody. Oh, you can't be homeless without kids. I mean, you can't have kids and be homeless. Do you know how many people that is out here homeless right now with kids? That was a crazy thing to ever say. Do you know that I'm in a Commonwealth state, and in a Commonwealth state, they really don't play too much about homelessness. They will try to do whatever they can do to place you somewhere. That's why I was in a hotel, because the shelters was all booked up. Your negativity or your negative comments really don't bother me too much. What really bothers me is that there can be nasty people out here to speak to you and try to kick you down when you're already down. But the thing about me is I can't be broken. I can't. I might cry for a second, but them tears only last a second. I might get angry. I might even have an episode where I feel like I'm having a nervous breakdown, but it only lasts a second, and I'm human. With all the stuff that's built up on me, I'm entitled to my feelings and my emotions as long as I don't drag it out. Everybody goes through things. I'm not embarrassed of my situation. I'm not embarrassed of things that I've been through. I'm not embarrassed to tell you guys anything. If you have any questions, I'm more than willing and happy to answer them for you. Who's better to give you the answers to the questions you have about me other than myself? No. In this world, if we can stop judging one another for a second and actually have compassion and understanding that nobody's perfect and everybody goes through things, and sometimes try to use kind words because you never know what somebody is going through. You don't know how bad that person's day is. And one simple, negative energy or vibe towards them can really diminish some people. But I'm not that person it can happen to. Like I said, I'm human. I might cry for a second, but you would never break me. I would never be broken. sometimes I think about, like, what were you really going through, you know, that you felt like that you needed to kick somebody when they was already down, and being brave enough to open up their mouth to the world and confess what's going on with them in their life. See, I've been through a lot. Like I said, since 16 years old, I actually was on my own. I didn't have my mother or my father or a family member to stay with. And it wasn't because my mom and my dad didn't love me. It was just that I was a teen, a sheltered teen, going through things. And I couldn't understand why my mother was so strict, and I couldn't go to parties, or I didn't know how to take the MBTA like any other kids, or why, you know, I couldn't have certain people spend the night, or I couldn't spend the night over other people's house. I was a honor roll student, but my mother had the belt wrapped around me too tight. And by that happening, I started rebelling. I started running away, doing stuff wild. But that didn't start at 16. That actually started at 14, me running away and stuff. By the time I turned 16, my mom just let me completely go. You know what? You want to go? Go. See you later. And that's what happened. I left my mom's house at 16 and never came back to live with her from there. I visit, but I never went back to living with her again. I went from the situation I was at until I was grown, and then I got my own place at 20 years old. I had my first kid and got my first place. And I wasn't a bad kid. Like, I wasn't bad. I was just being rebellious. I didn't understand why I couldn't do this or why I couldn't do that, and everybody else was able to do it. But I understand a lot of the things that my mother tried to protect me from now, me being a mother. But one thing I promise myself is that I won't be too strict like that on my kids, because I want them to feel comfortable and know that they can come and they can talk to me about anything. I want them to know that regardless of what they ever do, that I will always love them, but I also will guide them in the right direction without being so strict. But I have one kid that I really have to buckle down on, and then it's my middle son. And he was diagnosed with ADHD and a defiant disorder. But I treat him like a regular kid, because, like, disciplining wise, and, you know, I don't baby him, because even though he has a disorder, it doesn't mean that he doesn't know right from wrong. And if I just keep on letting him feel like, oh, he has a disorder, he'll feel like what he's doing is okay and it's excused because it's a disorder. No, we're going to work on self-control. And we're gonna learn to control our impulsive thoughts and feelings. I'm new to this, so I really don't, you know, I really don't know. But I do want to share my story. I do know that. And I appreciate everybody for the love that they're giving out to me and they're sharing. And I hope y'all have a blessed morning and a blessed weekend.